Great day, future second graders. It's Mr. Sargent here with our first installment of Summer Bridge Activity Help. Now, as we said in the last video, at the end of the school year, you received this Summer Bridge activity book, which is an incredible resource to help you this summer with your skills and both in math, reading, science, and social studies, and to be prepared and ready day one when you come to second grade. And I already know this will be the best year ever. So we're going to start this week with the week one activities. Now the format of these videos are going to be pretty simple. I'm not going to go over everything because a lot of this is going to be review for you. A lot of this you should have fairly easy time with. So I'm going to pick certain sections of each week's goals to help you with and try to help out as much as I can. So if you're ready, I'm ready. And let's start with day one. Now, if you turn to page 13, you will find our activity for day one. It looks just like this, with an incredible little poem called Pitter Patter. Now, what I'd love to do is read along with you. So as I'm reading, I would love for you to read along with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shrink myself. There we go. So you can focus on the words. And let's go ahead and read this together. Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, how I love the rain. Storm clouds moving in, the rain is about to begin. How I love to see the rain. Tiny sprinkles on my face, little droplets playing chase. How I love to feel the rain. I open up my mouth so wide, letting little drops inside. How I love the taste of the rain. Tapping on my window, it's a rhythm that I know. How I love to hear the rain. Everything looks so green, and the fresh air smells so clean. How I love to smell the rain. Pitter patter, how I love the rain. What an incredible poem! Hopefully we don't get a lot of rain this summer. We can enjoy our sunshine and go to the beach and things. But here we have a poem that focuses on the rain. I don't know if you figured that out yet. Now, at the bottom of this, it asks you to draw a line to match each sense with the detail in the poem. Now, if you don't know your senses, our senses are sight, touch, taste, hearing, and smell. Okay? So each one of these is going to describe one of those senses. Let's do the first one together. Now, we're looking for one that has something to do with sight. So we're looking for how we see the rain. Tapping a rhythm on my window. Not sight, is it? Storm clouds moving in. Could be. Little droplets inside my mouth. Nah, I don't think that could be it. Tiny sprinkles on my face. That's more of a feel, isn't it? Clean, fresh air. Nah. So what's the best answer that we could do? Well, if we could see the storm clouds coming in, that's definitely going to describe the sight. So we would draw a line from sight to storm clouds moving in. Now, as I was reading them, how many of you were able to point out the different senses and already know your answers? Well, good. Hopefully you've already done this, and this is a good review and a good check for each and every one of you. All right? Now, I will say this. When I do a reading comprehension, I would love for you to read along with me. So hopefully you have your book in front of you as you're watching this video. Now, if we moved on and we take a look at page 14 and 15, now 14 has you do some writing and do some vowel sounds. I'm going to trust that you can do all of those. And if we take a look at number 15, page 15, if we look, here we have some math problems. There are some subtraction, which means you are taking away. And we have some addition, which means you're making your number bigger. Now, I'm not sure how you do your math, but how I would do it is this. Let's take a look at number 1 right here. It is 15 minus 11. Okay, fairly easy problem. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to separate my place value. So I draw a line right here, and I separate it into 2 separate problems. Now I have 5 minus 1, and I have 1 minus 1. So as we look, our first number is 5 minus 1. Well, you can use your fingers. That one's pretty easy, isn't it? Boop. You can use counters. Boop. Or you can use mental if you know the answer out there. Now, real quick, go ahead and say the answer. Did you say 4? Great job. So we put the 4 right there. And this one's tough. 1 minus 1 is very good, it's 0. So our answer for 15 minus 11 is 4. Very good. Now, like I said, there are a number of ways you can do these problems. Let's go ahead and do an addition problem. Let's take a look at number 4 here. If you look at it, it's 13 plus 5. So I'm going to start off by separating my place values. There we go. And now my problem is 3 plus 5 and 1 plus, well, nothing's there, so it's going to be 0. So 3 plus 5. Well, you could do this mentally again. You could use your fingers. It doesn't bother me if you use your fingers. If you have counters at home, you could use counters. But we should know that 3 plus 5 is very good. Did you say 8? Awesome. So we put the 8 right there. And then 1 plus 0 is 1. So when we add these up, 13 plus 5 equals 18. All right, how did you do? Great, awesome. Go ahead and finish the rest of those, see what you can do. And like I said before, there's many ways to solve a problem. It's about finding your way and the way that's going to be easiest for you. All right, now there are some other problems on this page we're not going to really go into. It says use the different past tense, future tense. We're going to do something with that a little bit later, all right? But it does ask you to rewrite each sentence. So with these sentences, it does ask you to rewrite the sentence. I would love to see your handwriting with these. Something about Mr. Sargent is I don't have the best handwriting in the world. My hands don't go as fast as my brain sometimes, and I tend to write messy. So I know there are some people out there that can show me some great handwriting, and I cannot wait to see your work. Now, the reason why I wanted to skip over that is because if you go to page 18, this is day 3 activity, you will see an activity that asks you to add some suffixes. Now, if you may or may not know what a suffix is, but, well, let's go over it right now. If you look over here, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 13 has a list of base or root words, okay? We see jump, pat, open, start, touch, and blink, okay? Now, what this activity is asking us to do is to add the suffix ed, which is going to make it past tense, which means it happened a while back, and the other thing it's going to ask you to do is add the suffix ing, which means it's happening right now. That's going to be present tense. So let's take a look at our first word, jump. Well, if we add ed to the end, our word becomes jumped. And what if we're doing it right now? We add the ing, and now it's jumping. You see what we did there? We changed our root word and changed it into a past tense and future tense. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's go to number 13. Let's see how you did. All right. Our root word is blink. Very good. If we add the ed, it becomes blinked. Blinked happens in the past. Yesterday, I blinked 7,000 times, give or take. And now, what if I'm blinking right now? So now it's blinking. Okay, we add that ing. So ladies and gentlemen, work through these problems. I know you're going to have an easy time with this. Like I said, the first part of a lot of this is going to be review. and I know you're going to do an incredible job. We're going to skip all the way ahead to day 7. Now, I am trusting that on all the other days, you're able to work through those problems. You're able to read the directions and see what's happening. And definitely have your parents help you if you're not sure of what the activity is asking you to do. Okay? There's also having your parents check it is a great way to see and make sure you're doing everything correctly. All right? So, if you take a look on page 25, we're going to end this video with some word problems. I love word problems. All right, so we take a look at number 1. Grayson's train had 8 green cars and 7 red cars. How many train cars does Grayson's train have in all? Now, I know some of you can automatically solve that in your head. But as we work through these word problems, it's important that you understand and you look for key words. Now, first of all, the numbers that we're using are 8 and 7, okay? But if you go back to the problem itself, it says at the end, 2 words, in all. Very important words, probably the most important words in that entire paragraph. In all. Whenever we see the words in all, we know that this is going to be an addition problem. So, remember I said it before, identify the problem, solve the problem. And I think we have identified the problem. We have 8 and 7, and we need to add those numbers. What is 8 plus 7? Well, I'll give you a hint. A great way to solve these would be using counters, because honestly, once using our fingers, it may be too tricky. So using counters would work, or one of my favorite math tools is the number line. See, a number line allows us to show our addition problems while we are working with it, especially if we don't know our addition facts just yet. A number line can help. So if we take a look at our number line, we're going to start our number line with our first number that was mentioned in the story, and that's 8 green cars. So we're going to start our number line on 8. And now we need to go up the 7 red cars. Now, why are we going up? Because if you look at the numbers in the number line, they get bigger. Well, what happens in addition? The numbers get bigger. Very good. Very good. So we start at 8, and we're going to go up 7. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What number did it land on? 15, right? So what is 8 plus 7? Well, it's right there. 15. Now, we're not just going to leave our answer as 15, because what is the question asking us for? How many train cars does Grayson's train have in all? So we're going to say 15 train cars, and that's going to be our answer. See, by reading through these problems, they come out and they tell you how to solve it. You just have to practice your reading skills to make sure you understand what the question's asking you. This is the work for week 1. I know it seems like a lot, but ladies and gentlemen, if you work on this 15, 20 minutes a day, or whenever you have some downtime, you're going to get this done in no time at all. In fact, you may find a new way to solve your problems. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me with week 1. I cannot wait until next week's activities that are going to include some math, some reading, some writing, and I cannot wait to see you again soon.